Hey everybody, it's Mitch and welcome to my next video. Today we're going to be doing another Dungeons & Dragons Prestige class description. And today we're going back to the Dungeon Master's Guide with our Red Wizard. Hopefully that showed clear enough. I couldn't see. Anyways, so the Red Wizard. As you may have noticed, this video is coming out way later than all my other DMG videos. And that is because this is kind of a weird one. So let's first talk about why it is that I've kind of skipped this one for a while. And that's because this one, although in the Dungeon Master's Guide, it is technically a Forgotten Realms setting video. So, yeah, that's a strange little thing about it. So I skipped it for that reason, but in order to, be complete, I am coming back to it. So let's talk about this guy. So first off, let's look at the requirements. It requires you to be a human from Thay, which apparently Thay is the main city or country from Forgotten Realms. I'm really not that familiar with Forgotten Realms settings, so pardon me on some of that. That doesn't, from what I can gather, that does appear to be the case. So if you're doing a Forgotten Realms setting, okay, it seems like you could probably get into this relatively easy. If not, then, a little trickier. Requires alignment any non-good, so you can't be good, so evil or neutral. So these guys seem to have some sort of evil leaning. Seem like they're designed to be more for NPC bad guys, which does make sense with some of the things that they get. Spellcraft 8 ranks. Okay, pretty common. Basically, any 5th level spellcaster is going to have that. Feats, tattoo focus. It's a weird one, not too great of a feat, but it's still worth it if you go into this class. And any 3 meta magic item or item creation feats. Pretty good. And spells, ability to cast 3rd level arcane spells. Not too tricky. As a wizard, you'll have that at 5th level. As a sorcerer at 6th, so you can get into this at... this is more designed for a wizard. A sorcerer, it's going to take them a little longer, partially for the feats. It'll take them a few more levels to get all the feats they need. But wizards can do it pretty easily by 5th level with a couple to spare, actually. Actually, I think just 1 to spare. Because, let's see, 1st level, human will get a feat. They're also going to get, as a wizard, Scribe Scroll, because it's going to take 4 feats in total. Then they'll get a feat as well as 1st level, just everybody does. So that's 3 feats at 1st level that they're going to get as a wizard. That's pretty good. Then they'll get, of course, their 3rd level feat, and then at 5th level to get another. So that's 5. So they'll have 1 extra feat because at 5th level, wizards get their bonus feat. Whereas with a sorcerer, you're not going to get that Scribe Scroll, and you will get that feat at 6th level, though, so I guess technically you can get in at 6th level with no feats to spare, whereas wizards can do it at 5th with a single feat to spare, and they're going to get a feat as soon as they jump into this. So a little better for wizards. So what do they get? No armor weapon proficiency, great. They have bad base attack bonus, bad fort and reflex save, good will save. That's pretty standard. They get skill points 2 plus int. Not a great skill pool in all honesty. That's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, so they got some issues. D4 hit dice, not great, but that's kind of typical for casters. Spells per day, so they get full spell advancement. That's good. Now let's get into the nitty-gritties of what they what makes them special. So they get enhanced specialization. Well, before we get to that, let's look at this tattoo feat, because it's a requirement. So let's look at what you have to get for this feat. You have to be specialized in a school of magic. So it does kind of require a wizard, just for this. I don't think now that I think about it, sorcerer's not even really an option. Well, I think you might be able to specialize as a sorcerer. It's just there's some shenanigans you can do for that. Religion Theis, which I think is like a major religion in the Forgotten Realm settings. It must be. I really don't know. Benefit, add a +1 to the DC for all saving throws against spells from your specialized school. You get a +1 bonus on caster level checks to overcome spells. So you get a bonus on your specialized school. That's kind of cool. So that's kind of nice. Now, is it worth a fee? Yes and no. Now, let's talk. So you basically have to be a specialized wizard. So you get enhanced specialization as something you get at first level, which is actually bad. Basically means you have to give up a scroll, and you can never learn spells from it again. However, if you have already learned spells from that school, you can still use those. So this would actually be better to jump into later than earlier. This isn't one that it's great to rush into. If you are planning to go high levels, you might want to wait as long as you can to jump into the Red Wizard so that you're not hurt as much by the enhanced specialization. Because you gain nothing for enhanced specialization itself. You're going to gain other things from other features, but enhanced specialization itself gives you nothing. It just takes away. But it's not so bad, and you gain a bunch of stuff for it later. So you're also going to get specialist defense. So basically, you're going to get a +1 on saving throws against against spells from that school, which is pretty cool. So when people try and use your specialized school against you, you get a +1, and that'll actually go up to +4 by 9th level. So that's not bad. 9th level in the class. Then you get spell power starting at 2nd level. You get a +1 bonus to your caster level check, and that'll go up to a +5 by 10th level. You get a bonus feat at 5th level, just like regular wizards do, except they get it every 5. This one's just at 5th. You can be a circle leader, so that's a cool thing at 5th level. We'll get into circle magic here in a second because that is a big part of what they get, but doesn't really work for a player character very well. You can scribe tattoos at 7th, so you can give people the tattoo that they need to actually become a red wizard. So you can only get that tattoo from a 7th level red wizard. So it's not something you can just get. And then you get Great Circle Leader. So basically, you're giving up a spell school for effectively a +5 to your caster level checks, and for a +4 on all your saving throws against that. So you gain a bunch of bonuses, and you become way better at your specialized school than you normally would be. So this is actually pretty powerful. There's really nothing in the game that gives you anywhere close to this. And this stacks with pretty much everything. So yeah, you can go pretty high with this particular one. It's pretty dang good. And then on top of that, you get this circle magic. So circle magic requires that you have multiple red wizards. They actually technically don't have to be red wizards. They can be like they just have to have a tattoo. So they can be like someone who's just a low-level regular wizard who's planning to be a red wizard at some point, who's working towards that. So don't actually have to be a red wizard, but you do need the tattoo. So you kind of got to be preparing to be a red wizard. So basically, once you've reached 5th level, you can be the circle leader, and you're the people with the tattoos. It's got to be at least 2 of them. You can have up to 5 initially, 9 by 10th level, and they can cast spells into the circle, which do nothing other than give the circle spell levels, which you can use to put which the circle leader can use to put meta magic feats on the spells, up to making the spell a 20th level spell. They can also effectively they can use those spells to increase their caster level for any spells they cast up to 40th level, which is insane. Becomes way less good once you get to 40th level, but that's pretty high. That's pretty freaking high. So yeah, that's actually insanely powerful. So so with the circle magic, it's better to get in earlier, but for everything else, it's better to get in later for this class. It's weird like that, which kind of balances things in all honesty. Then yeah, so you can just really make these spells so much more powerful, and the cost to the other players isn't so much. It does take a lot of time to set up, but it works pretty well in all honesty. It just requires a lot. Now to do this as a player character, that'd be really hard. I mean, if you went Thrallheart so that you could have 2 cohorts and you just made them both red wizards, okay, that might work, although that requires a lot of levels to pull that one off. We're already getting into epic, although I guess you don't have to. You can go full on Thrallheart and then jump into this and get, because you only need to get to, what, 5th level to do the circle magic. So, I mean, that's okay. But this class is really one that if you're going to do it, you want to go all out into it. Taking a single level of this is kind of bad. Taking 2 levels is a little better. But by 10th level, it's like, this is a great class. It really is good if you go all out. But if you just want to dip into it, no, it's bad. You're better off just not dipping into it at all. You're better off with 0 levels than you are with 1 of this class, at least in the long run. When you first take it, it's not so bad because you initially give up very little to get into this class. I mean, you have a prohibited school, but you just can't learn new ones. Okay, at first, that's not so bad. That gets worse as you go along, but then you gain all this other stuff for it. So that's pretty good. But if you're going to continue as a wizard of some other kind, then you're still going to have that prohibited school, and that's just horrible. No. Like, if you want to be a caster and you want to jump into this, stick with it. Once you take your first level, go all 10 levels. Don't switch into anything else at that point. Maybe if you have a good reason to, but you're going to want to avoid leaving this class once you start. There's nothing telling you can't, but it's just bad to do that. It's going to hurt you a lot in terms of you're going to keep continuing to that specialization will continue to hurt you as your spellcasting progresses and you're able to learn more and more spells, but they can't be from one more school than normal. But if it's not taking levels in Red Wizard, you're not gaining anything for that. You just have this loss that you're getting nothing for. So once you enter, go full out unless you have a really good reason not to, because it's just bad to deviate from this class once you start it. But you can jump in at any time, and it's not so bad because you don't lose anything ahead of time. So it's hard to say what to do with that, but it is a good class. If your DM will allow you to do it and you're planning on being a caster, particularly an arcane caster, definitely worth looking into. Almost certainly for wizard, it's pretty hard to get into a sorcerer, mostly because of that feat. That feat really makes it impossible to get in a sorcerer, or nearly, since you do somehow have to specialize in a school of magic, which is not easy for sorcerers to do. That I think there's some weird feats that'll allow that, but yeah. So let me know what you think about this video. If there's anything you want to add about the Red Wizards, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you like the video, please consider giving me a like. That definitely helps out. If you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. And also, maybe consider ringing that bell to, get notifications, because YouTube can be a pain like that and not give notifications. But anyways, as always, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.